Welcome, thoughts, tots, and gods, to We Have That Podcast at Home. It's the only podcast certified to kickstart your heart. I'm on brand Gamage.
And I'm on brand Rachel, and each week we play Russian roulette with our success and spin a wheel to find out the genre of the next week's podcast. This week we're attempting the fine art of pop culture.
Pop culture, that's like books and movies and TV shows and stuff.
Things.
So today we're going short, as the topic I wanted to discuss is grand enough for 2 episodes, and Rachel's wasting her vacation time here.
I don't know if I'd call it vacation. I'm helping somebody move.
That's why you're in Alaska?
No, and it's not why I'm here. I just got roped into it while I'm here.
So I originally had this episode planned, and like the more I was working on it, the more I'm like, I'd rather do 2 short episodes than one like 2.5 hour long episode, which is what it would have done.
We should save our 4-hour episodes for Christmas because, like your family dinner party, I want you to hate being there by the end.
I mean, they do now.
Exactly, but more so than in this moment.
All right, so Rachel, feel free to sit back, relax, and just react to the wild things I have to say, like a bystander filming a Juggalo divorce. You don't know what I'm about to talk about.
Not at all. And I'm very excited and intrigued.
The listener who probably read the episode title does. So...
You bastards. Why do they get a heads up and I don't?
Well, they just see the episode title and they're like, oh. So Rachel, about a year ago, you did something I hate, which is you made several references to a show that I did not understand, and I hate being on the outside of references. So now I return to you, well-traveled and learned, comprehending more than you can comprehend.
I'm trying to remember what show.
Rachel, how much Supernatural have you watched?
Oh my God, not enough for you to start referencing it.
How much? Like how far did you get?
I've definitely seen several seasons, but I don't even... They're on season like 675 now. I've got no fucking clue how much Supernatural I've seen. Like maybe the first 4 or 5.
Okay, so I'll actually fill you in.
Castiel's an angel.
That's cool. So...
Did you watch the whole thing?
As you become previously privy to, when I don't like something, I put in the work. I consume everything until there's nothing left but bones and spin-offs.
We're gonna need 3 episodes.
I
consume everything until there's nothing left except for bones and spin-offs. That's a really great way to say it.
And I won't watch the spin-offs because they don't count. Like the anime, for example. Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's an anime. I watched a couple episodes. It's real bad.
So you even attempted to eat the anime.
I snacked on it.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
So,
I can't believe you went on this quest.
Yes, I have slit the throat of Supernatural and sucked all of its grace and returned to you an omnipotent being, which is a reference to the show.
Jesus.
All 15 seasons, 326 episodes, that's 237 hours and 4 minutes, which is just 3 hours short of 10 days.
I have a question for you. Did you do this over the course of a year?
Yeah,
or did you ADHD brain it and marathon it in like 2 weeks?
I mean, I only watched it at work.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so over the course of a year.
Exclusively watched it at work. I never watched it out at home. But Google AI seems to think that this show is only 15 hours, which is objectively and grossly incorrect.
What?
Now, I'm going to spoil this show. Not in like...
Yeah, please do.
Not in like revealing the twists and endings. I'm doing that too. But spoil as though I'm leaving a rotisserie chicken on the kitchen counter overnight.
So it's rotting.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to do this as eloquently as many others before me, but I don't care enough.
You don't come to us for eloquence. They know this.
Like, I watched several video essays like on this to remind myself the things that made me angry, as it's been like a year since I've even seen certain bits. Like I
Have you been
watched
taking notes, or are you just shotgunning your thoughts as we go?
I mean, I wrote down a summary of my thoughts, but like I have a lot of thoughts, and like some of my thoughts went away, so I watched like a video essay on like a summary of things, and I'd be like, oh, that thing pissed me off too. Here I am.
Well, regale me, enlighten.
I want to start off with the fans who left the finale unhappy. I must say to you, 'twas the journey, not the destination, and the journey sucked as well.
Is the show over?
The show's over. Ended
Okay,
in 2020.
Right. Oh my God, I didn't know. I thought they were still going.
Yeah, the argument about like the finale is that the show was only supposed to be 5 seasons and it got bad after that. Poppycock. It was all not good. But
I love poppycock. It's all
Poppycock.
terrible.
Monarchy. Today I will be focusing on just the 5 seasons and doing the rest in a condensed Campbell's soup form later, but we're jumping
Beautiful.
ahead. Let's start in complete darkness, like a dead angel, which is another reference. My references are landing home how much I've watched.
I like know just enough about the show to know that you're making a reference, but no idea what exactly you are referencing.
That's good. You fucking out-reference me, bitch. So, Rachel, what the fuck even is a supernatural?
It's a word.
Rhetorical. Supernatural is a television show that aired 2005 to 2020, created by Eric Kripke, starring
That's too long.
Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles as the characters Sam and Dean Winchester, respectfully.
Was Jensen Ackles able to do The Boys because he was done with this fucking show?
It's worth noting that Eric Kripke, yes, also did The Boys.
Oh my God, I did not even realize that.
These two brothers who travel around the country in their rocket-powered Impala, it can go across the country in like 2 hours, fuck off, solving horror-esque mysteries a la Hardy Boys for preteen girls, if that's what you or what you're into. No hate, no hate.
Hardy men. Hardy men.
Sure. No, Hardy Boys, like with a D.
No, I know.
I thought you meant like Hardy Men, like with an ART.
No, I meant like because
These men will do for the winter.
Boys, they're men. They're hardy men.
Let me get there because I don't think they're men at all.
I'm looking forward to it.
So each episode starts with the boys rolling into town with a fresh, mysterious murders having taken place. They make passive-aggressive comments toward each other about the overarching plot taking place as they struggle past like a red herring to the real ghost/werewolf/djinn/vampire/dragon, etc., etc., etc.
I thought you were just going to keep going. I got scared.
I could have Rougarou, Changeling, Ghoul, the other Changeling that's not a shapeshifter. I think that's one too. Angels, demons, devils, alternate beings, the Wicked Witch of the East or West. I don't remember which one is from the Oz thing. Moving on. I want to really quickly praise the things that this show does right before I devolve into a screaming starfish. This show is...
A screaming starfish. Is it because the praisal's only going to take like 30 seconds?
Now, okay, this show is great if you have work or chores. It requires zero attention, and it's just quippy and mysterious enough to look up every now and then. Like, I watched this entire thing at work, and it didn't interfere in the slightest, and I got the ADHD, so you know I wasn't that focused into it. But I got everything. I know it all.
Yeah, so it's just the right amount of attention grabbing and information that you don't really have to be paying attention.
It's just stimulating enough.
Okay.
So another thing that I really liked and was wowed was the characters. Not Sam and Dean, but everybody else. While only 20% of the episodes passed the Bechdel test, which I looked up, that means that female characters spoke to each other about something other than male characters. And
wow,
that's a low score. But it's fair to say that this isn't a show about the women, but two brothers being terrible people. Again, getting ahead of myself.
Yes, the women actually speak about things other than men because they're scary creatures afoot.
When they're alive, let me get there.
Oh God.
I liked, dude.
They do also do that.
Dude. I liked every guest star character we got, and it's a real fucking shame when one of them dies, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times, but they're all gone by the end.
Yep. Frequently, multiple times.
Some are just like done, and then you never even like get a glimpse of them ever again. I'll talk about them. But so this show also kind of kicked off the paranormal teen drama. Like Twilight wasn't even out at this point. And now they're a dime a dozen.
It was like the starting line of like that whole vampire werewolf supernatural creature phenomenon.
One video essay I watched said after season 5 it just turns into Bible Riverdale, and I agree.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Another thing,
I think that's why I stopped watching it.
Eric Kripke is a great storyteller, but it's clear to me that he wants to be doing anything else other than this show. Like the best episodes, in my opinion, are the episodes that break the monotony. Like there's an episode where they get caught in a time loop. They end up in TV, like on different shows and a game show. Mm-hmm. There's an episode where like the bad guy was Luck and they have like this lucky thing. So it's another kind of situation where you get to see how luck-based powers work. Like, have you ever seen Deadpool 2? Domino has the luck-based powers, and it does it really well in that. There's an episode that's just like this, and this is like fucking 10 years before that movie came out. Mm-hmm. Good on you.
Well done.
Maybe, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah, they definitely do a couple cool, they're like spin-off things, like you said, where they're doing something that's very different and outside of the normal trope of the show, end up being really cool.
Yeah, those are the best episodes in my opinion. I'm here having a good time, and we're not dealing with like the normal thing, and everybody's being fucking moody at each other. There's an entire episode where the entire perspective takes place in the car, and that's probably my favorite episode. It's so unique because it's just like the brothers are talking about things, and then they leave the car, and then you're just in the car, then they come back like mid conversation, and like the killing
you're like
happens.
A Left Behind sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. There's
like the forgotten sandwich in the center console.
There's also another episode where they're just in Scooby-Doo. Like,
yes, I was waiting for you to bring that up.
But he wasn't showrunner at the time, so technically doesn't count.
Mm-mm.
Eric Kripke is the executive producer for only the first 5 seasons because that was his baby. He had an idea, and then afterward he was like, I'm done.
He had an idea, he brought it to fruition, and he gave up. Said, feel free to beat this dead horse.
He was only the producer for the first 5 seasons, which everyone tells me are the good seasons. They're not. And some even say ignore everything after. I won't. It's clear that Eric Kripke wants to do other things because he went on to just be the executive consultant after episode or season 6 through 15, and then went on to do a lot of other things, including The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys is genius.
Boys slaps. Watch that shit. Hopefully that doesn't go 15 seasons because it's pretty good so far.
No, there's one more season coming out.
Thank God.
So those are all the nice things I had to say.
All right, take me to your shit list.
This show is such a fucking soap opera. The common theme.
It's just a soap opera. That's what this show is. The whole thing is a modern day soap opera.
Yeah, like parts of it are great. Like I like the idea of like every episode's like a brand new horror movie. Ooh, what's going on? There's a ghost. Who's the ghost? Why did the ghost die? Like what happened? And then in between all that is just like I don't like how you only eat burgers, Dean. And I hate it.
Yeah, it's like, it's angsty, but for no fucking reason. It's like, why do all you eat is burgers and pie, and then you flirt with women?
Now, that's all fine if that's just like a season or 2. But we're talking 15 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
The arguments only come back around over time, constantly. This is kind of spoiling things outside of season 5 too, but I don't care. But there was a moment when they're hunting a Rougarou in the early seasons, and they're just like, oh, what's a Rougarou? But then in later seasons, they're like, remember that Rougarou when you were kids? It's a fucking avalanche of inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Then there was like there's a moment where Dean's just like, I've never been to the Grand Canyon. But then later, Sam's like, you remember our trip to the Grand Canyon when we were kids? And I was on a donkey and it farted. That was the actual thing.
Wildly inconsistent show. To be fair, I feel like it's one of those shows where it goes for so long that it's like, is somebody really going to go back through, watch and record all these details?
Yes.
No, they're not. They're going to go, who's going to remember?
I remember. So
Gamage remembers.
There's a common theme in this show being lying to each other, being angry about it, separating for a whole episode and a half, and then reconciling and agreeing never to hide things from each other ever again.
Only to then repeat the process.
Absolutely. You got it. Wow. Are you Eric Kripke?
Crazy. Apparently, yes. I'm slowly morphing into Eric Kripke. Supernatural 2 will be starting next week.
There is a Supernatural 2, by the way.
What the fuck?
Oh, no, it's not a sequel. It's like a prequel called The Winchesters, and it's about the parents.
No,
you don't have to worry. It was only a season, and everybody hated it, and it got canceled. I didn't watch it at all.
God. Thank fuck.
But then
that sounds...
It's not good. But Sam and Dean constantly preach about some shit about family and having each other's back, which is objectively, factually inaccurate.
It's like the shit they do the least. They're like, we're brothers, we got each other's back, and then proceed to do fucked up shit to each other all the time.
Fucked up shit to everybody else, too, in the name of
constantly.
Family. And they love to, tell each other, like, I see you as my brother. Like, you're in this family, too. But then, like, stab them in the back is the first fucking chance they get. Because they weren't...
Not even, like, figuratively.
Yeah, because they weren't, like, family hard enough.
You weren't close enough on this family tree, so we pruned you. You're off now.
I'm not gonna dissect every episode. God, there's no time. And I really don't want anything to do with Supernatural when I'm done.
Actually, you know what? You know what I think we should do? We should do this like The Never-Ending Story, and just for a run of several weeks, this podcast is only going to be about Supernatural from now on. Welcome to We Have That Supernatural at Home.
I mean, we're doing 2 weeks of this at least, so.
Oh, it's awful. I like these marathons that we're starting, these themes.
Yeah, it's real healthy to do and not taxing in any way on my emotional and mental health.
Yeah, whoever stuck with us through fucking The Never-Ending Story, we really didn't want you to do that, so here's our second wind at getting rid of you.
That was a test, and you failed. Welcome back.
You failed miserably. Welcome back. Trial number 2. Ooh, it's the last fan standing. They'll be Highlander. And they'll be omnipotent at the end.
But I am going to give a quick rundown of notable moments and lump entire seasons together because...
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't give a fuck. So we are introduced to Sam and Dean's kooky world. They have a strained relationship after having just the worst upbringing from just the worst father. Sam is at college trying to live a normal life because he hates his dad when his brother Dean ups and convinces him to go on an adventure to find their shitty father, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That Jeffrey Dean Morgan. If you don't know,
the
Google
Jeffrey
him.
Dean Morgan. He is in Walking Dead. If you've watched far enough into that TV show that got shitty, he's the dude with the bat.
He's also in The Boys. There's a lot of crossover.
Yep. There's a lot of connections there.
They are haunted by the past of their mother being killed by a demon, and they road trip America, killing ghosts and monsters, including the occasional worst iteration of werewolves and vampires I've ever seen. Have you seen any of them?
Yeah. That's why I started laughing.
The werewolves are so bad that they later just wrote them in as purebloods to make them a tiny bit more not shit. Because in the earlier seasons, the werewolf is just like, oh, it's the full moon. I guess you could call it a werewolf. It's just, the werewolves have like no makeup. Like they have like a little makeup.
There's like nothing going on.
Otherwise, they don't look like wolves or even wears at all. There's nothing there.
Or even where they're really just people
Yeah.
trying to live their life. It's like it's kind of the equivalent of if you met somebody in real life that told you they're a werewolf, like how they would dress on the full moon
Yes.
to try to convince you that they are indeed a werewolf.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They're like, I'm just really vibing
yes,
into my
yes.
wersona today because it's a full moon tonight.
We call them lycanthropes, okay?
Sorry, lycansonas.
Vampires.
Chuckle.
Vampires in this also suck. They have like
Yeah.
they can only be killed by decapitation, and then they have like lots of sharp teeth, like a shark, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And the lack of special effects kills my boner for this show most of all, I think.
Yeah, it's like there's some stuff that seems very lazy.
Yeah, and then other things, it's just like, I can't believe you put you added this in your
so
budget.
much
You could have
time,
just
money,
passed
and
it.
effort. Yeah.
I know that right now it's 2005, but they don't have that excuse later when we get like angels and demons involved. And
No, you mean when they're like 4 bajillion episodes into a very popular show that makes a fuck ton of money? Zero excuse.
WB's the worst. I can't trust them with anything.
No.
But like
Everything they touches turns to dust.
angels and demons in this show just look like regular dudes because human vessels nonsense. And then like when demons like disappear, they become smoke out of their mouth and just go like in a drain pipe to escape back to hell. But then in hell, they're just people. There's
So do
like
you think-
moments where they're
Hold on. So they escape through the pipes. Do you think
that was an example.
when I flush my poop, it just goes to hell?
Well,
I
if
thought
you're-
it went to the ocean.
Well, if you're Catholic, then yes, that is concentrated evil coming out at the back of you. Their words.
It's flush straight down. I'm pretty sure the phrase concentrated evil coming out the back of you is also a direct quote from Family Guy.
It absolutely is because they're referencing the Catholic religion.
Yep. Religion.
But like demons have a true face, and every now and then they like talk about like, oh, I can see the demons' faces right now. It's very scary, but you can't see it. Only I can. Oh, that one's really scary. That's actually
Okay.
in the show.
Okay, John Smith of the Mormon religion. I found these new tablets, these new commandments that God wants us to follow. Oh, can we see it? No, you'll burn up and die.
But I'm not
they're
even
in the woods.
I'm like not
Don't
even
look at
lying
him.
to you. This is an actual thing because like Dean like gets the
I believe
ability, and
you.
he's just like, and it's okay. Also,
Yeah, like, all right.
there's dragons. Oh, there's actually dragons in this show, by the way.
I forgot that that's a thing
it's
that happens.
in a single episode and never again. Also, just fucking people. They're just a dude. That's the dragon.
dragons?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
the dragons are just people.
What the fuck? I don't know if I've seen the dragon episode.
It's because everything like the most they'll do is like, oh well, there's a djinn, so we have to color him a darker color, I guess. That's as far as they'll go.
What's the creature you were most impressed with? Do you have that information locked and loaded?
I think I like some of the ghosts most of all. Like some of them were done really
The
well.
ones that are supposed to be people.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense. That's fair.
No, there's a monster that I was trying to think of where like they actually did like go out of their way, but it looked like a something you see out of Buffy. There's like a water thing or like a shapeshifter of some sort. But that one looked
I know
cool.
what you're talking about.
I mean, everything is a human, but like I think the cooler human ones are the ones that like pierce your brain to like get your they feed through your brain through a pokey stick out of their hand or some shit. I watched the
sounds fun.
show.
I believe you.
So they have their father's journal, which can't have more than 300 pages in it. But they're always finding something new in it, despite driving around the country with no other reading material in 2005. There's no phones. I'd have
Yeah,
that
that's
bitch memorized at this point.
That's what gets me is that they have this giant notebook full of all these notes. And like for the first couple episodes of being like, oh, I found this on this page, or like the first season, that makes sense. But like way later when they're still referencing the book,
Bitch.
it's like,
It
guys,
gets
guys, how do you not know? I'd be like, oh, this thing or this symptom, it's on this page. Here you go.
Everything
It's this creature.
after season 10 has zero excuse. I'll get there, but like the journal's one thing, but now they're like, you have no excuse to not knowing everything that has ever happened ever.
Yeah, you've basically killed it all.
I mean, Sam's whole thing is that he's a smart college boy and he always has like a plan, but he like always has to be like, oh, I need to read right now because I haven't read it before, you see. He's also part demon or something because the demon that killed his mother also fed him blood for his master plan.
I did not know this. I know that he went to hell. Or that was Dean. I don't remember which. I think they both go at some point.
They've both gone to hell at different times. They both go to heaven. I think
it's Sam, right? Because then Dean has to save him.
I mean, I'll get there. No, it's
okay.
I'll pick that up in a second.
Okay. Continue. Sorry.
So season 1 is rough in that they're fighting all these things with limited experience and information all by themselves because there's no one else doing this stuff. Like,
yes.
they're the only hunters. That's important. I'm saying this because it's such a huge deal when in every season after this, they find other hunters.
So many hunters.
And then they reference them like, I remember when we were kids. Like, shut the fuck up. No.
You're like, no, did you just get your memories back? Like, what fucking Alzheimer's childhood did you crawl your way out of?
Yeah, and they talk about having a long history. Bobby Singer is a notable one. He's just there one day, and all of a sudden he's like their adoptive father. They like call him all the time. It's their words, not mine. Now they're running to Bobby for help. I will say Bobby is a neat character. I love him. I really did like him. But what I clearly like doesn't matter in this show. Bobby Singer, fun fact, is played by Jim Beaver and is presented as sort of a redneck handyman, but is actually a genius, experienced monster hunter.
Yeah, he's like the Sherlock Holmes of monster hunting.
Funner fact is that this character, Bobby Singer, is named after the producer-director Robert Singer.
Yes.
And in Kripke's other major series, The Boys, there's the character President Robert Singer is played by the same actor, Jim Beaver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that actually cracked me up.
Yeah,
I saw him appear on The Boys. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
there he is.
And then they said Robert Singer, and I was like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I was
Hilarious.
like, oh my God, I can't believe they just kept the same name.
So you might find this hard to believe, but Sam and Dean aren't getting along this season. It's because it's because they have differing ideals of their father and the hunting profession. Sam wants to lead a normal life, and Dean wants to find his father to be the main person in his father's eyes and hunt and stuff. So there's just friction.
Yes,
you know?
And Sam abandoned him to this hardship.
Yeah.
Of an abusive father that they still want to find for some fucking reason.
So most of season 1 doesn't matter. Like, they don't meet anybody. Like, it's just constant. There is a ghost. There is a vampire. Let's chug through it. And another big complaint I just remembered is that Dean is presented as like this like rough and tough and comical guy who loves metal, but we never hear metal. He's like constantly like Metallica and Led Zeppelin, and you never fucking hear Metallica or Led Zeppelin once. He
just couldn't get the licensing rights.
Yeah, which is fine, but then like you just say you like metal. You don't have to like reference like Metallica if you're never gonna play Metallica, because he's just like constantly, I picked the music in my car, but we just get
it's
like
never Metallica
awful,
or Led Zeppelin. Maybe
like,
he's just a poser.
Stock music.
I mean, frequently you meet people who are posers. Maybe Dean was just written to be a poser, and you think it's shitty production, but actually that's just part of his character. He's flawed.
Yeah, I mean,
like the rest of us.
Dean and Sam are very flawed. Dean, I think, is more forgiving because his plucky attitude. Sam is just annoying and he's always got to be a know-it-all and just like, you got to eat kale and go jogging every day and shut up.
That's just kind of a shit sometimes.
He is, and I don't
remember being annoyed with his character frequently.
And he's quiet, and that's it. He sucks. I don't know what else to say. So we chug through the season. They eventually meet like, a demon, and that's bad.
Boo.
because like demons are unkillable this season.
This season specifically. Let's narrow in on that.
Oh no, there's a demon. Well, nothing works on them. So eventually they meet up with with John, their dad. John gets taken over by the demon Azazel, who's the one that killed their fucking mom, and it's very anticlimactic. People say that like, oh, just get past season 1 and the rest of it's good. But I guess because season 1 was so uninteresting and season 2 was like dumber, that it was so much easier to just have on. So they meet up with John, and they get in their car gets hit by a truck, and Dean dies. John makes a deal with the demon that killed his wife, Azazel, depends on who you ask, to bring Dean back in exchange for his soul and a special gun that can kill demons. That's important, by the way, I guess. Dean comes back, and then John goes to hell. We are now in season 2. This is actually the first episode of season 2. Because the first season ends with like a truck hitting them, and they're all just like lifeless in the car. And
what a way to... I like how they end... Okay, so you ever watch... I'm sure you know of the phenomenon on Grey's Anatomy where everybody's also constantly being put in wild-ass danger and shit, and everybody, like, all the characters are dying all the time.
Yeah.
I like how they started strong with season 1, ends with them dying. So it's like, all right, now for the rest of the show, you have to top them dying. Because in season 1, they died, you brought them back. You fucked up.
Yeah, and I mean, they don't.
Do you think they did that because they were afraid it was going to be canceled?
I think so, because I will note that the first season was on the WB network, and then the rest of them are on the CW, which is technically the same network, but it was like rebranded and everything. So it's almost like they didn't have like a full plan set.
So they were like, this could be a stopping point. We could continue from here. We could not. Dumb.
Sam and John didn't die, just Dean. And Dean slowly died. There was like a Reaper there being like, come to the afterlife. And he's like, no. So each season has a theme that it's kind of like shooting for. I would say that season's 1 theme would just be horror. Each episode is like a different horror movie. It's not all bad. I'd say it's like B-rated slasher. I think that the first season is kind of the hardest to get through. I think that's how it got
popular, is because the first season was almost like cult classic. Like, it's so garbage, I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
I think it was almost the vibe of why it got popular.
Anyway, season 2's theme is psychic powers.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, of course, the normal formula follows, killing ghosts and monsters, but occasionally this season, they come across people with powers and learn that they're just like Sam, who's been having premonition dreams because the demon blood that he drank when he was a baby. Well, technically, you don't learn this now. You learn that later because they're given the demon blood.
How much later?
Like two more seasons from now, I think is when you learn. Yeah, because it's after angels are introduced.
Fucking Christ. Okay. I always wonder when shows do crap like this that transcends seasons, if they planned it, or like 2 seasons from now, they're like, what other weird fucking shit can we do?
Season 1 through 5 is
that Sam had psychic powers? Cool, let's do demon juice.
Well, no,
That's
season
why.
1 through 5 is you can argue yes, but everything after that, no, there was no plan. There was
there was
nothing.
It's
a clusterfuck.
It's a lawless west.
So, notable characters given this season, because there's a lot. There's Ash, who's a redneck hacker who tracks the paranormal until he's killed very soon. Joe, a young hunter girl who crushes on Dean until she's killed very soon. Helen, Joe's mother, who owns the Roadhouse, a bar where hunters gather and trade information until it's burned down. Helen will be killed very soon. We also meet Gordon Walker, a very famous vampire hunter, until he's killed very soon. There's...
Keep going.
There's also a trickster god, but we'll sit on that for now.
Until he's killed very soon.
Oh, Rachel. We'll get there. You may find this hard to believe, but Sam and Dean aren't getting along this season very well.
Are you going to say that about every season you introduce? Sam and Dean aren't getting along very well this season.
It's revealed that Dean was told by their father that he might have to kill Sam because of the demon stuff, and that puts a big, hefty, dumpy damper on their relationship. He doesn't want to kill him, but then Sam...
He said might.
Yeah. True. But he's ultimately like, I don't want to do it, Sammy. Sam then dies anyway.
Your Dean impression is spot on.
Sam dies anyway after being roped into a psychic demon child death match. Jesus.
What the fuck?
Dean summons a crossroad demons. Those are the ones that you sell your soul to. And then he agrees to trade his soul in 1 year's time to bring Sam back.
Oh, see, that's what it is.
Yes. So in this point, Sam is dead. I don't think he's in hell. So I think
I thought that was the whole thing of why he needed to get him out.
Well, he needed to revive him. We don't know where Sam actually went at this point.
Oh.
Which is why I was kind of like...
trades his soul and goes to... Got it, okay.
Yeah, because when you sell your soul to a demon, they're able to do bullshit, bonkers shit.
Beautiful.
So they go to fight Azazel, whatever, who's...
Azazel,
who's...
You ever watch
Aziz Ansari?
Futurama? There you go, Aziz Ansari. I was thinking of that scene where
you're thinking of Pazuzu.
Pazuzu.
It's Pazuzu, who is the name of a demon, by the way.
Pazuzu?
Yeah, absolutely.
A Pazuki became a demon?
I'm moving on. So Azazel is opening the gates of hell, but fails. The gates open to hell for like a minute, so lots of souls and demons are released. John's soul being among those released from hell. He jumps in and helps the boys kill Azazel before fading away, never to be seen again. Pause.
In the entire show?
This is important because fucking everyone dies several times and comes back, or is at least seen in flashbacks and shit, or like a ghost. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan was like, nope, fuck off. So every flashback...
he got through 2 seasons of this show, looked around and went, yeah, fuck this shit,
He was in 4 episodes in entirety.
Oh,
so
that's incredible.
Every flashback we get is just like with a different actor that's like, oh, it's a younger version of him, blah, 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 suck my dick.
Sure.
Until the very last season, we do get like a Dream Day spa thing with John, who's way older at this point, so it's hilarious.
Do you think it's because he saw like the writing on the wall with the first 2 seasons and was like, this show's gonna go south fast, and then he watched it develop and grow into this like magnate monopoly fucking show that had everybody's interest, and then was like, oh god, I'm gonna have to come back for the last episode?
It's not even the last episode, which we'll get to the last episode because it's doozy.
Next episode. Next time on Supernatural Reviews.
The theme for season 3, I'd say, is demons. They're out and about, and it's bad. One of them is a girl named Ruby. She says she's good and even joins the Winchesters to help Sam use his powers better. She has a dagger that kills demons and teaches them how to make a dagger that kills demons and more bullets for their magic gun.
Their magic demon slaying gun.
The dark cloud in this season being that Dean's clock is a ticking until he's dragged to hell. We also meet Bella Talbot, a very interesting cat burglar who steals and sells magical artifacts, who's a very interesting character that I'm curious to see where she's dead. Never seen again? No resurrection? Not even like a flashback? All right. Just fucking Thanos snapped away.
I knew it was coming, but it's still funny.
I thought she was a very interesting character, and there's kind of like a love interest, but there will be no love interests in this show. God damn it.
No, they're all fleeting 5-second experiences.
We also meet a girl Dean hooked up with once who has a kid, but it isn't Dean's kid. But that doesn't stop him from looking into the sky and saying, what if?
What?
Gordon Walker, he was that vampire hunter guy. He comes back as a vampire, but they kill him.
Oh, neat. Okay. That sounds about right.
They go to kill Lilith. Did I mention Lilith? She's the first demon Lucifer ever made, but it's irrelevant because they fail to kill her.
Isn't she the mother of Adam and Eve or the daughter of Adam and Eve or some shit?
No,
Or-
okay. First of all,
No, because there's a Lilith character in the Bible, and either she's
Yes.
like one of the people that was outside the Garden of Eden or in the family tree. I can't
Lilith was
remember.
created with Adam. It was Adam and Lilith, but then Lilith was banished outside, and then Eve was made from Adam's rib, and Lilith became the first demon.
Of course. Because once you break up with a girl, she's a crazy demon bitch.
Exactly. So the time comes, and hellhounds, potentially rad-looking wolves from hell that are conveniently invisible to humans, being us, so we never see them, come and take Dean away to hell. There's these hellhounds. They're in every season, and like you just hear them barking, and they're like, but invisible. Again, the fucking laziness.
Never see them.
Never.
I haven't watched this show since I was like in middle school, so I'm trying to think back
There
to
is
like all of
an
the characters.
episode where like there's like this kind of blue sheen over it because like a magic spell is being cast, but that doesn't count. That's lazy as fuck. So apparently, this is where a lot of writer strikes were happening. So the story had a teensy change, but originally Sam was supposed to brave hell and rescue Dean, but instead he just becomes a piece of shit. This is season 4 now. Because Sam's a piece of shit in this season. Like the worst
Dean's
piece
in
of shit.
hell.
Yeah.
And we're just following boring Sam now.
No, because the very first episode of season 4. Well, first of all, season 4's theme is angels. Dean is
yes,
immediately.
The last one was demons.
Yeah, Dean is immediately magically brought back from hell by the angel known
by
as
Castiel.
Castiel. Castiel's
and their long love affair.
Rachel.
That doesn't actually become a love affair.
Rachel. Rachel. Castiel is an interesting character, being an angel and unfamiliar with human ways, so it's like a constant fish out of water gag. Dean's exact words are, "He's basically a talking dog," he says in the Scooby-Doo episode. Now, this is kind of where a big mess shows up.
Is Castiel Scooby?
Yes, in that analogy. But so this show has a pretty bad reputation for queer baiting hard. Happening in the form of DSTL, which is Castiel and Dean pairing by fanfic. So lots of shows have fandoms that ship characters with one another because it's fun. Ooh, fanfic. They piece together meaningless moments and facts like, oh, well, this means that. This isn't actually one of those. Well, it is and it isn't. So Dean makes several closeted homophobic comments, but then seems very interested in men and even coaches a character later on how to seduce one. So Dean may or may not be written as bisexual. It's unknown. So for Dean, at least we can say it's null and void. Castiel, on the other hand, played by Misha Collins, is written and coached to play Castiel as having unrequited feelings for Dean. He's actually coached. It does not end well, but we'll get there. We'll get there together. So Dean is traumatized by his time in hell, naturally, which in hell, it was 40 years for the 1 year it was up here. He ended up eventually joining the demons into torturing people, because that's how people become demons, is they get tortured until eventually they're like offered the chance to be the torturer and then eventually become demons. We don't actually know how it works because we never actually see it.
Yes, of course, because that would take production value.
Yeah, we don't have the time to do that. We got to get through these 15 seasons, girl. So he ended up being one of the people to torture to get out of being tortured himself. Dean and Sam are reunited, and Castiel reveals that they are tasked with killing Lilith and preventing the seals of Lucifer's cage from breaking to avoid the apocalypse.
Oh, no.
In this season, we meet Chuck, author of Supernatural, a series of novels that are word for word the life story of Sam and Dean.
Oh, I forgot about this.
God. I didn't mean that. We're told that Chuck is a prophet of the Lord and is being told the story by voices of God.
Oh my God, I forgot about this.
Oh man. We also meet Adam, the bastard son of John Winchester and the half-brother of Sam and Dean. He's family, so he's important. But he's dead. Anyway, we also meet...
I was going to say, except he's not family enough, so he's pruned off the tree and he's dead.
Anyway, we also
Compost
meet
pile.
Alistair, who's a demon, who was the demon that tortured Dean in hell, but then he's killed. We learned that many angels are dying and that the angel Uriel is responsible because he's actually on team Free Lucifer because the apocalypse is good, actually. He's then killed. Castiel reveals that Dean was resurrected to be the vessel for the Archangel Michael to vanquish Lucifer, who will no doubt possess Sam because it's prophecy, and brothers killing brothers is very on brand for the Bible.
Yep.
Castiel rebels against the angels because he's hot for Dean. I'm not making that up. That's actually canon. You may find this hard to believe, but Sam and Dean aren't getting along this season.
What?
This time,
it's so unlike them.
This time it's because Sam is drinking demon blood to get stronger from his girlfriend Ruby. Oh, they're dating. But Sam has like crazy psychic, like Damien powers where he's able to like move shit with his mind.
You say crazy psychic Damien powers?
Yeah, like Damien, Omen.
What?
The Omen?
No. This means nothing to me.
Okay, cool.
I thought you said demon weird.
No, Damien. Damien's the name of...
But Damien's... Could you imagine?
Angels I'm just making
Damiens?
References that you don't get. By the way, Kickstart My Heart was a song by Motley Crue. Rachel didn't understand that one either. Moving on.
I never do. Continue.
Anyway, so Sam and Ruby are turned out were dating the whole time, but she's then killed very soon. She was actually bad, guys, and was actually working for the angels to help Sam kill a very willing to die Lilith because she was actually the final seal for Lucifer, blah, 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 blah. Let me get some water. Tequila.
I did that at karaoke the other night. Somebody was like, I'm not going to do karaoke. And then I was like, no, just trust me. And we went up there and then so many people got so into it as we just stood there and then randomly went, tequila!
It's infectious.
Yes, it's a great fucking, if you like get yoinked out to karaoke, but you don't want to do karaoke, that's a great goddamn choice.
No, I'd probably do an ABBA song myself.
No, but I mean, like, if you don't want to do karaoke, but somebody is trying to peer pressure you into it, like you're not a karaoke person, it's a great way to participate because people fucking love the song because it is infectious. So you're not going to get judged, and it's a gag.
You can tell a lot about somebody by what their favorite ABBA song is. Like, what's your favorite ABBA song?
Oh, that's a hard choice. There's just so many to pick from. No, I've just been listening to a lot of ABBA lately, so it's hard to then be like...
Me too, actually. I have a tier list of, like, my favorites.
I've also been doing ABBA as a karaoke song a lot lately, so, like, doing different ones, so it's hard to be like, oh, this is my go-to one right now.
I mean, mine's easy. It's Voulez-Vous. It's number one.
Yeah, well, that's a great choice.
Chiquitita is another contender. SOS.
That's a great one. I think I'm thinking of Lay All Your Love on Me.
Lay All Your Love on Me is incredible song. Yes, that one's up there too for me. It's got to be like my third favorite. Gimme 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 is one of my favorites, but I gotta admit I prefer the Madonna song where she samples that for Hung Up. Thank you, fact checker. Hung Up. There's a Madonna song called Hung Up, and it like samples the tune from Gimme Gimme Gimme, and it's incredible. And I kind of prefer it because it's like way more upbeat, has like a nice rhythm to it.
I'll have to check that out because I don't think I've ever heard that before, but I freaking love Gimme Gimme
I recommend
Gimme.
it.
Really,
not
you
for
can't
this
go
one,
wrong
but...
with any ABBA. Just go down an ABBA train.
So Lucifer is now free. We're back to Supernatural. He needs a body. Sam is supposed to be his perfect body, but can't
because he's been working out all season.
Actually, yes, it partially for a couple reasons. He's a brother in the prophecy, and he eats demon blood and stuff. But
and
he
who
can't,
wouldn't want to be as ripped as Jared Padalecki?
But he can't get an in, so he possesses some guy named Nick, who will be the face of Lucifer for the rest of the show. Played by Mark Pellegrino, who was born to play the sort of menacing character. He does this kind of character in everything. He's also the evil vampire bishop in Being Human. Crazy good actor.
Oh, okay. I was trying to think of who that was, and yup, I freaking love him. He's fantastic. Also, Being Human's a show we should talk about at some point.
Oh my
God. That show slaps.
I watch that show every couple years.
And it ends at an appropriate time.
The ending is so bittersweet. Like, well, I guess it was like canceled or something, but like they were like managed to make a perfect ending, and they made it work.
Yes, well, and that's what's beautiful about that show is it doesn't get dragged on. So like lots of interesting things fucking happen in I think it's only 3 seasons, and
the
it's
American
beautiful
Being
and perfect.
Human, by the way.
Yeah, the UK Being Human is fucking crazy and awful.
It's longer and it's crazier, but I do prefer the American version.
The first 5 episodes of the UK Being Human make me feel like I've watched Supernatural for 15 seasons. Like it's like what time warp am I in? Why have I wasted any of my life on this? It's I hate the UK one. Watch the US one. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but he usually plays this kind of character, and it's great.
Splendid job.
You might find this hard to believe, but Sam and Dean aren't getting along this season.
Damn it. I was going to guess that they were getting along this season.
No. They're being
disappointed.
Yeah, they're being forced by the cosmos into killing each other, and it's pretty stressful on the relationship.
Who'd have thunk?
So,
you'd think their brotherly love would overcome this adversary.
Jesus Christ.
I keep wanting to say adversary. Adversity. Yeah. I kept wanting to be like adversary.
Anniversary? Is it anniversary?
Yeah, fucking adversity.
Also, Dean was a piece of shit, torture in hell, and Sam also lied about his demussy he was getting and the blood drinking.
Demussy. You ever get that good demussy and then try to kill your brother afterwards?
So this season's theme is prophecy. It's the whole thing.
I like how you said after season 5 they get Bible-y, but it's really after season 2.
It's actually after season 4, because season 4 is where angels come in and they're like talking about God and Lucifer and
season
shit.
Season 3's demons. That was like the gateway drug to the rest of the Bible.
Which is, thank you for reminding me, because I didn't write this down, but you reminded me that like they know about demons and they hunt demons, and then like they're so surprised when they find out that angels are real, and they're like,
I just
what?
don't understand when
angels.
When shows like this do, we reveal another creature and the main characters are all stunned that creature exists. Because it's like, I don't know about you, but the second I find out werewolves exist, I would not be scoffing at just about anything else. I'd be like, damn, that's fucking crazy. You mean
you're
dragons
gonna have to get used
too?
to this?
Yeah, like, okay. That just seems like, once the fucking snowball gets rolling, it's an avalanche now. Let's keep the ball going.
So this season, Jo and her mother, Ellen, you'll remember them, they show up and die. Nice. So there's a Supernatural fangirl named Becky who goes to the Supernatural convention.
Does she show up and die?
Hosted by Chuck. No, actually.
No, shocker.
We have one, guys. But she
a
goes
woman
to...
lives!
This one does
one
does not pass the Bechdel test at all.
It's fucking like gays in any fucking TV show. They always have to be murdered off.
It's the barrier
Supernatural
gaze.
just went, we're not going to have...
trope.
Yeah, we're not going to have women on here unless they die.
Yeah, Becky is obsessed with Sam, but they go to a convention hosted by Chuck. This one's actually a fun episode because Sam and Dean watch people cosplay and emulate them, and it's fucking spot on. It's great.
Yeah, I have seen that episode, and I thought it was hilarious.
So, we meet the trickster god. He comes back, by the way. Turns out he's the fucking Archangel Gabriel. Who knew?
He said, I had to get another job. Heaven's not cheap.
That's actually it.
You're joking.
He left heaven, but he became the Norse god Loki. And
oh my God.
That's
he's just like, he left Christianity and picked up the Nordic gods.
I'm not even kidding.
His bread and butter. Holy fuck. Could you just imagine that? Like, hey, I left Buddhism, so I became Thor. I was a mythical being I was the, I'm furthering this metaphor of, like, because you're a religious figure in one religion, when you quit, you can't just go at, like, an entry level of, like, you're not, like, a follower of this religion. You have to then sort of make a lateral move.
You got to buy out my contract.
He got promoted to God, so he left Christ.
So, anyway, he tells the boys that Lucifer can be recaged by getting the rings of the Four Horsemen, who are all very interesting characters, too. Famine is a really interesting take on famine, because famine is like supposed to be like the dead crops and people starving.
Yeah.
But they present famine as like this like insatiable hunger. Like if famine is near, then everybody is gorging on all the food near them. They're having crazy monkey sex with each other. It's everything is like hunger maxed out. So it's a really interesting take on the concept of famine. Death is probably the most famous depiction in this. Death is this food-loving, quiet old man who sees the existence of God and everything else exhausting, and actually hopes Sam and Dean succeed because he kind of likes them. So he gives them his ring, and they get all the other rings and Captain Planet. So they also meet a demon king of the Crossroads, Crowley, another very interesting character.
Yes. I think if I'm remembering who this is, I like the actor that plays him as well.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He'd rather not have Lucifer out and about. He likes things the way they are. So he does help the boys locate the horsemen. So they get this plan. Sam gets this super good idea to let Lucifer possess him so he can jump in the pit and get caged. Lucifer is too strong, so he just gets possessed easy peasy.
Who'd have known?
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk?
Dean's still refusing to let Michael in. So what the angels decide to do instead is resurrect their half-brother Adam because loopholes. Because he's a brother. Get it?
Jesus.
This part. Dean calls Chuck, the guy who wrote their story, to find out where in the book it says they're supposed to fight. That's right. That's not in the script gag from Robin Hood Men in Tights is fucking
Holy
in this show. Fuck off. So the showdown happens. Castiel and Bobby are both exploded, but only when Dean is bitten by Lucifer does Sam go, oh shit, and gains control. The hole opens up.
Lucifer bite him? I feel like he, as the god of hell,
Sorry,
you
beaten.
maybe have some options.
Beaten. I read it as bitten, but yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? What a weird. You're like, I'm gonna fight you.
So Samsifer, Lucisam.
Samsifer? I like Samsifer.
Sam gains control. He grabs Adam, who's still possessed by Michael, and then dives into the pit, where they will be contained for all eternity. Castiel is immediately revived by God, they say, and then he revives Bobby. Dean has a moment of reflection and decides to quit the hunter life and goes back to that one girl he hooked up with that one time who had the kid that wasn't his.
Beautiful.
Chuck talks out loud and he's narrating the ending, and he reveals that he's God, actually, and then vanishes.
Oh my God.
And this is
not that God, though.
And this is where the show was supposed to end. Like, this is what Eric Kripke had in mind, done and done. But we get a mysterious Sam, not in hell, peering through the window where Dean was leading his normal life. And
what the fuck?
Then we get 10 more years of this show.
And then we're cursed with 10 more years. It's like when a groundhog comes out of the ground. If you open your curtains and you see Sam, you get 10 more years of Supernatural. Oh, fuck.
So that was Supernatural. All of the Supernatural, according to some fans. What'd you think?
That was all of what Supernatural was supposed to be.
Yeah, so good, right?
Holy fuck. This makes me want to rewatch it. Not because I think I would enjoy it, but just because I feel like it's unfair that you got this far into it and experienced all of it.
Like, it's like there were times where I would see something and then I'd like look up a YouTube clip later because it's at work and on my phone and I'm like busy working, but like also paying attention. But then I'll go home and like pull it up on like the big screen and I'm like, this looks way worse than it did on my phone. So I'm not missing anything.
And further away.
Yeah, I'm not missing anything by not paying attention to it.
I got to get through Vampire Diaries first.
That's a no-go for me.
I started that rewatch and then have promptly fallen off of that rewatch because it started getting crazy and it's just crazy. Like, you know, when a show hits that point where they've just stopped trying, we're there. So I'm really,
I do know what that's
really
like.
Trying to continue
it's
having any fucking interest.
Season 6 through 15 of Supernatural.
Let's be real. It's season 2 through 15.
So that was season 1 through 5. I will do the rest later, I promise, maybe. I wanted my song recommendation to be on theme, which was actually kind of difficult. But I believe I found it in the song Hate Fuck by Pussy Riot.
I was going to say, if you say Metallica or Led Zeppelin, that's not on theme.
One thing I like about the show, though, is that they constantly do like they'll like, oh, we're FBI. Like, here's our FBI badge. We're agents Bonham and Page. Like, they'll use like rock last names in place, and that works all the time. Nobody ever goes like, accepted. Oh, Bonham and Page, huh? That works normally for you guys. Whatever.
Yeah, nobody ever calls them out at all.
They get called out, but then like it gets fact checked and they have like a whole system in place where they call their supervisor and it's just Bobby and Bobby's like, I'm the FBI. Yes, they're good. And they're like, damn, okay.
To be fair, if you and I rolled up to a building well dressed enough, this would absolutely be how this goes down. You know it's true.
There's something that I do like in the first 5 seasons, which is a very prominent FBI entity that's like chasing Sam and Dean constantly. Because Sam and Dean, like, sometimes their faces get put up because they're killing monsters. These monsters look like people. Sometimes people see them, and that's a big no-no. So the FBI is like, who the fuck are these guys? So they're constantly after them, and they're kind of like a sub-antagonist for a couple episodes. But then it fizzles out, and then it's not interesting anymore. Anyway, what music is your recommendation?
Well, I think based off of the angsty theme that is Supernatural, I'm going to recommend Linger, but not
the Cranberries?
The Cranberries version. It's the Royal Otis version, not spelled Royal, but Royel. Royal Otis did a cover of it on Sirius XM. Royello Otis. Did a cover of Linger for Sirius XM. Look it up on Spotify. It's actually really, really good. But that's my recommendation because I feel like it matches the angsty vibe of Supernatural.
Speaking of covers, is one of my favorite songs ever. Okay, first of all, we've been trying to get around to doing an episode where we talk about music we hate.
Which will be happening at some point in the near future, in a podcast near you.
I am going to spoil a little bit of it, though. There's one band I hate above all other bands.
Is it Smash Mouth? I love
Smash Mouth. I love Smash Mouth. No, there's one band because like
sorry, it's Shrek that you don't like.
There's a lot of bands that I hate, and I feel like I would not wish them out of existence because I realize that I hate them, but they are also a very cornerstone in musical history, and a lot of people find inspiration. And a lot of my favorite artists are like, "Oh, I listened to this when I was younger," so I don't want to.
Yeah, and just because I hate it doesn't mean everybody else has to hate it. But I have strong feelings about certain music artists.
There is one band that I wish away, and that is the All American Rejects. I passionately hate the All American Rejects. There isn't a single song that I don't like. Ugh. Remember Dirty Little Secret? Remember that whole fucking just social media craze where people were posting pictures of their fucking flashcards with the I smell my poop sometimes. Fuck off.
What the fuck? fuck are you talking about?
This was like a teenage thing, but before your time. So All American Rejects is, I want to call them an emo band, but I don't actually know.
I don't know either, and I haven't listened to All American Rejects in so long that I really can't even pinpoint a sound for you.
They do like Dirty Little Secret and Move Along and...
oh, fuck. All right, Move Along, cute it. Yeah, I would say they're like a...
The song that's used in every Transformers establishing shot ever. God,
yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
So, they did this just
like
released,
sad
by the way.
Rock.
But they're not at the same time. Like, it's very upbeat, bad music. I don't know how to explain them. They suck. I wish them away.
They're confusing and I don't like them.
But
much like old people in technology, it's confusing and I don't like it.
Fact Checker has informed us that they're classified as rock and alternative / indie, which all means fuck all to me. We've had this conversation. Yeah. Alternative and indie mean nothing.
Yeah, once you're alternative and indie, you are just everything. You're omnipotent.
But so I do hate this band, and I will have an episode to talk all about them. Trust, but they did a cover like yesterday of one of my all-time favorite songs, "Flagpole Sitta."
How'd you feel about it?
I listened to it. I didn't hate it. It was actually they actually kind of did it justice. The original is way, way better, and I still hate this band. But I was like, I listened to it going like, oh, here we go. Oh, that's you. Because one thing, I love covers, but I don't like it when covers are like, we're going to go so out of the way. It's like a bad book movie adaptation. It's like Aragon in music form.
I got you. I get what you mean of like, yeah, when you do a cover and you completely change the style of the song.
Yeah, you can change genres. That's fine.
Yes.
But you can't like change certain characteristics of the song and like make it a whole different thing. Sampling is fine too, but there's a thing. But I thought that this song was very...
the Aragon adaptation of music. It's a really great way to explain when somebody takes a cover like way too far out of the depths.
You're like, whoa.
But what the fuck is this?
I do think that All American Rejects sucks, and I reject them. But they did the song okay. Good job, guys. Because I was expecting their sound to be whiny, but they actually sounded like Harvey Danger. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look this up.
Look up Flagpole Sitta in general. It's a dope song. That's my third song recommendation in this episode.
Damn it.
Fourth? I think we were talking about ABBA too. Yeah, fourth.
Yeah, we talked about ABBA too. So we're pretty far in because we both recommended an ABBA song.
Look, guys.
I recommended Tequila for karaoke. That's like the 18th song.
If Rachel and I knew an iota about music, we would actually just be a music podcast. But we don't.
Yeah, if either of us were musically inclined in any way, shape, or form, we would probably talk about music all the time. Which we do when we're in person hanging out. But from complete perspective of ignorance, which is why you only get a little bit of our ignorance at the end of every podcast. And sometimes for a whole episode.
Speaking of, that was our episode. Bye.
Yep. That was it. Welcome to the first 5 seasons of Supernatural. Thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard, or you also hate Supernatural, please like, subscribe, and download on whatever your most favorite is podcasting places. If you want us to talk about a thing, including more Supernatural, which is going to happen next week, so really don't email us about that. That'd be really cool if you did not do that. We will take your ABBA preferences. You can find us at WHTPAH, that's Whoopah, on Blue Sky, which we're like, I got a notification from them today that we were like the 4 millionth person to join Blue Sky, and they just hit 10 million subscribers or something like that. We were 4,498,515.
Oh, we were in the first half of the hemisphere. Dope.
We were in the first 5 million on Blue Sky.
That means nothing to me.
No, it didn't mean anything to me either, but it happened to me today, so I'm sharing it with you. So, Whoopah on Blue Sky. You can also reach us at whtpah@gmail.com. So, whoopah@gmail.com. You can follow us on We Have That Podcast at Home, where Fact Checker posts fabulous Instagram reels and posts. I get comments about them all the time. People love them. Thank you, Fact Checker. They are appreciated. Next week, we will be tackling Just kidding. It's more supernatural, bitch.
Yeah, you said you had
I've
the
been
wheel out
off-brand
earlier.
Rachel. Yeah.
I've been off-brand Gamage, and this has been we have that
We had that
podcast
podcast
at
at
home.
home.
Homo. Ha ha ha. Gay. Bye.
Love you. Bye. But not actually gay, because supernatural won't let it happen. Okay, bye.